You might ask, who could be the idiot who is talking about the flat Earth? Or you might wonder, who still believes the Earth is flat? Or question, is there anyone who has consistent arguments to say that the Earth is flat? All these three perspectives are different ways you are approaching a topic. Honestly, my thought was a bit ironic. Admittedly, I said, let's listen to those who can say that the Earth is flat today and why they say it. I grew up loving the globe. I have still images, astronaut books, a lot of astronomy books because it fascinated me since I was a child. So when someone says the Earth is flat, I wondered who can think that the Earth is flat. I immersed myself for 24, 48, 72 hours to see everything there was about the flat Earth and those who refuted it. You go, you come back, it's a back and forth process. In my case, after 72 hours, you say it's flat, but refuse to accept it. Then you go back and forth again. You watch the videos of those who refute the flat Earth again, and you say, no, it must be spherical. But then you question, how do you undermine this argument? So there are several things that become interesting. Firstly, the legitimate right to doubt. Can someone challenge that we don't have the right to question if the science is sacrosanct or the debate is settled and there's nothing to discuss? I think not. It is legitimate to analyze. You can't start by saying this is impossible because you have entrenched yourself and made an intellectual decision stating there is no option. One of the fundamental aspects is doubt. Is everything we have been taught about science accurate or might not be? In reality, do we know it's spherical or do we believe it is spherical? Any ordinary citizen might ask themselves, do I know it's spherical or do I think it is spherical? Can't he confidently say he knows? Why? Because none of us have been out in space to observe this globe. What we have seen are images from movies, from television, from books, and what we were taught in school. Therefore, it is an act of faith and belief. It's a belief in what we were taught and what we as flat earthers have seen. I say, we are not believers in the flat earth. We think it is flat. It is an act of reflection. If we consider that our world is a sphere and it has a curvature, that curvature suggests that objects should be hidden as they move away in a relationship that is calculated. These are the tables of Robot and other mathematicians, or you can calculate it. Therefore, that shows that the city of Chicago cannot be seen from St. Joseph on the other side of the Michigan Lake. The Sears Tower is 527 meters tall, and Kauai or Kauai Island is seen in full from Oahu Island too, but should not be seen. Nothing can be seen in its entirety on Mount Canigou from Marseille. Corsica from the other side of the Italian coast, either Buenos Aires, should not be seen from the city of Colonia in Uruguay. Buenos Aires should not be visible, and there is the complete profile. I completed the skyline like this, with the silhouette of all the buildings. That is geometry again, because it should not be seen and it is seen. What Magellan did this. It is called circumnavigating, and that is what airplanes do. They circle around. If I leave my house here and I do a full circle around the block and return to my starting point, one trip all around. But if after I see the fakes of the ISS, where there are transparencies like astronauts are distracting you, they're always playing with a small ball. These guys don't work. I look at the images of the inside of the ISS, and my son's bedroom is more organized by 15 years. It's a mess of cables. A micrometeorite comes or any accident, you wouldn't know which one to plug in or unplug. where to enter or where to exit, everything covered in nets and things stuck together. Their walls are laughable. You look at them today and say, how could we be so naive? Watch the scene in which the girl shows her hair that is sprayed. Then she tells you, look, I'm in outer space with zero gravity, and she shows you her hair and you say, you know what? They must think that we deserve it for being stupid, for swallowing all that. It's a joke. Nowadays, I think that they should actually kill themselves laughing. Please see the official photos, the so-called blue marble from the year 2002, 2007, 2012. The American continent has absolutely different proportions. And we never saw that because we are naive and candid. I mean, if your teacher told you, did you doubt it? If your grandfather told you and showed you this balloon and said, you live here and you were 5 or 6 years old, were you going to say, today, grandfather, are you lying to me? Is the world flat? Well, that's the part that makes you a little sad, because the flat earth journey is hard. And above all, one that is simply trying to question, to analyze, to rethink. You are reviled, blasphemed. There are people who have insulted me, and I have told them, let's have a coffee and talk about it. If here you believe that we are in opposite trenches, I say, are you a seeker of truth? Me too. Right? Flat earthers, in fact, have always said, we do not own the truth, we are questioning the model. And we don't have to convince anyone. It is a decision and a personal journey. I have my opinion, and you have the legitimate right to have yours. If they show us it's spherical, what will we say? That we were wrong. That's the problem. There was no right to raise doubts. The sky hasn't fallen, the stars haven't collapsed, there hasn't been a black hole, nor the bank, right? It went to waste, and we are now in economic ruin because we flat earthers thought at some point that the earth was flat. Here we beat things properly.
How do we know the Earth is not flat?
Shh. The Earth is flat. Hola.